Peace to you, EloHea. I made a video the other day, and it basically was calling people to find love, because love will save the world and it will save you. That's the truth, okay? Someone looked at it and said maybe I should break it down a little bit more, okay? This is Wednesday, the 30th of August, 2023. So I'm going to break it down. Okay, but before I break it down, I'm going to say a few things. All right? Okay. Excuse me. Back in like 2012, when I first dropped on Facebook, 3 years prior to me coming on Facebook, I had a spiritual awakening. I was going through all kinds of things on my 40th birthday. Okay. So when I came online, I was talking about spirit, right? A lot of people looked at me like I was a daggone fool. I was crazy. Okay. Now, this is where I get my concept of love from, given to me. Okay. Allowing me to discover it through thoughts, allowing me to have the ability, once I have it in here, to explain it to the world. What is the world? The collective consciousness here on the planet. That's the world. World and the planet, Earth, is different. Okay? Now, it started off with a thought. You know, everything within ourselves, if we want to know, we start asking questions. So that's where it started. Started off with questions, right? The first question was, I said, well, damn, what is love? Right? What is that? Right? How do I know that I'm actually loving someone else? And how do I know if someone is giving it to me if I really don't know what it is? Right? So as time went on, the answer to my question by will of spirit started to come to me. Right? Started coming in pieces. It took about 7 years for everything to, become complete. Okay, when I got to the first 5, and that was back like in, 2015, 17, somewhere around there. When I got to the first 5, I thought it was complete. Okay, and it's document evidence on Facebook when I was writing all this stuff out. Okay, but I thought it was complete, but it wasn't. Okay, I just got that feeling in me, and I know when I get that feeling in me, I know something, I have to just wait a minute. So I rested, and I got the last 2, and it was complete. And I tattooed it on my arm. I don't know if you can see it, but I tattooed on my arm, right? 7 elements of love, right? I like to say 7 spirits of love, right? Okay. Another thing, there's a sister out there, a lady out there. I don't know if I would call her a sister. I don't know, but I'll say a sister regardless of how she is. Her name is Princella, right? The queen maker. That's what she called herself, right? Okay, she's one of the reasons why now I'm coming out so much with these videos. Okay, especially when it comes to love. I listen to some of her stuff, and a lot of what she's saying is true, from what I see, but when she says that men are incapable of love, because see, once she said that, I understood she didn't know nothing about love for her to say something like that. Right. But then you have to think about it. Where's her examples of love at? How did she even come up with this kind of stuff? You've been on my you've been on my page back in the day, but naughty, naughty, naughty. But she's correct, but where does she get this from? Most of her life has been in turmoil, right? Been trauma based. Her own family, her own grandmother was doing her dirty. So where does she get this from? And this video isn't all about her, but I'm just saying this in these little segments before I get to where I need to go. Okay, but one thing she is right about. Love is not an emotion. It is not an action. It has nothing to do with the feelings, okay? But what love does is it causes actions through the emotion. Okay, through the feelings. Okay, so this is how you get your signs Because most people been reacting and describing love off of what they feel like, what a person does. See, a man, when he loves you, it is expressed different. A woman, when she loves you, it is expressed different. Shit, when a dog loves you, it's expressed different. But you'll know it, okay? You'll know it once you're able to see the signs, okay? And the symbols when somebody loves you, right? Okay. Like I said, it took me 7 years to get this, all right? And my job and what I'm commissioned to do is to bring it to the world, okay? Now, they have it in many books, right? And this sister, I'm sorry I have to go back there. She had a nerve to write a book. I digress, but like I said, they wanted me to write a book on this and a few other things. But see, love, the concept of love was given to me freely, all right? And what I got freely, I'm not allowed to sell it to you. I have to give it to you freely, whether you respect it or not, whether you appreciate it or not. I have nothing to do with that. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned in my responsibilities, which is to bring this to the world, the concept. Okay? Now, let's begin. Let me just break it in because I don't want to keep going too far and spend 6 minutes or something just in the beginning. So here we go. Let's start off. Love. All right. 7 elements, 7 spirits of love. Okay. First one is selflessness, right? Why should the first one be selflessness? Because see, you have to actually get out of your own self and be able to think about somebody else, right? Think about somebody else other than yourself. Has to begin there. Number 2, concern, right? Have to be concerned about the individual to lead you to the third one, which is understanding. Okay. See, when you're concerned, then that's when it leads you to understanding. What is the understanding? How do you gain understanding of somebody? By listening to them, sitting down, right? Observing them, right? So you can get to know them. Listen to their historical information. Listen to what happened to them. Listen to the things they inspired to do, right? And look deep within the person so you can find the beauties of that person. So you can be able to associate the beauties and the uglies within the individual so you can get to know the person, because you have to know the beauties and the uglies lie within the inside. That's what you have to know. But the only way to do that, you have to sit down and listen. Okay, but you have to be concerned to do that, right? Okay, leads you to the fourth one, which is compassion. Once you gain an understanding of a person and you see why a person does what they do, right? Then you start learning compassion. Start gaining compassion for somebody. How can you have compassion for somebody that you don't understand? Okay. Now, it leads you to the fifth one. Wait, let me stay on compassion because I don't want to go too far without saying this. Compassion is different than empathy. See, empathy is different than compassion. Why? Because see, you'll sit down, listen to somebody and hear their pains, and their pains become your pains, right? Their traumas become your traumas to where as though it'll start actually affecting you emotionally. Okay. Now, compassion is different and enables you to listen to somebody, right? Hear their pains, but their pains and the traumas that they have don't actually emotionally affect you. It's different. So you have to use compassion because all of this isn't based on emotions. Okay. Now, once you have compassion for somebody, it leads you to forgiveness, right? You can't forgive somebody without having compassion. Can't have compassion without understanding. And you can't even get to understanding without actually being concerned and being selfless, right? So we're dealing with forgiveness. Forgiveness basically says, hey, man, I detach myself from what you've done to me, right? You have to be able, anything that's done to you, you automatically is a must to forgive it. Forgive it. Why? Because forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. It's all for you. Why? Because it enables you to detach yourself from what they've done. Think about it for a minute. You want to be the master of yourself, not nobody mastering you, right? Okay. Let's say a long time ago, You used to do something, but now you don't. Or you didn't do something, but now you do. All because of what somebody did. That means they changed you. In that moment, they mastered you. And it's been years, they're not even around you. You probably can't even speak their name without getting emotional, right? Because they still mastering you. They're still a part of you. And you're not realizing it because nobody's coming out here saying it. How do you get away from that? Forgiveness. It detaches it. Those are your scissors. Okay? Now, here's a rule that you need to think about. All right? If you forgive something volatile that happened against you without a consequence, trust me, baby, it will repeat. That's why just because I forgive you doesn't mean that you are exempt from consequence. Does not mean that. That means a consequence is a must. Okay, and whatever that consequence or whatever degree that consequence is, that's on you. But when you love somebody, it leads you to the sixth one, which is mercy. Because I forgive you and that there is going to be a consequence, then it has to be mercy applied, right? I could give you a severe consequence, but mercy, a minimal consequence. If I'm involved with you, the consequence might be me having a talk with you, making you, accept the responsibilities and be accountable for what you did by confronting you. Some people, that's serious, or just leave you alone, period. That's why I said that even though I love you doesn't mean that I have to be with you. You see, I could leave you alone and still love you, because once you love someone, you never stop loving them. There's no such thing as when you love someone, now you don't love them anymore. If that's the case, then you never really did. Okay? Because love doesn't do that. Love is forever, baby. Trust me. Once you love somebody, so I don't care what you do, I'm always love you, but don't have to be with you. Okay? Another thing. Love got nothing to do with respect. It's nothing to do with that. Okay? I can love you, just not respect you based upon what you do. But since I understand and have compassion and forgiveness for you, I still love you. But then that leads on, and I have mercy when I'm doing what I got to do. If I have to, it's because I forgive you don't mean that, there's no consequence. So after mercy, here we cut the seventh one. And the seventh one is patience. Without patience, nothing is solidified. It's not all brought in together. None of it will work without patience. How many times have you done something, right? And you wanted someone just to have patience with you because you've been doing something so long. Now you're trying to change it and evolve from it. And you're trying to get it right. And it's like, damn, I keep missing the mark. I keep doing it, right? But you're trying to stop. If the person who loves you see that you're really trying to stop, because when you really apologize and you're sorry for something and you really, really, really apologize for something, then you change your behavior. But some of the things that we've been doing, it's so ingrained in us, and we've been doing it for so long that it take a little bit longer to get out of it. But if a person can see little glimpse of you trying to get out of it, little changes here and there, then they can still be there and be patient. Now, if they don't see any change and you just keep doing the same thing, talking about you working on it, you're a work in progress, no. It has to be a stronger consequence. Most likely they have to leave you alone, because sometimes you never know what you really have with you until it's really gone. I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's actually true. Okay? So these are the 7 elements of love. Okay? Never put them in a book, because like I said, which is given to me freely, I have to give to you freely. Whether you respect it or not, whether you appreciate it or not, I'm not concerned with that. My concern is doing what I'm commissioned to do here on this planet, in this world. Okay? Now, it is true from what I've seen that a lot of the things that is given freely, it's not respected, it's not appreciated. But hopefully you'll use this. It has to be activated. All 7 of these have to be working at one time. Okay? All at one time for it to be called love. That's like H2O. It's water. You take the H, you take the 2 off, the H off, anything, it's not water anymore. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Okay? And peace to you. be and remain encouraged.